Kalpitia Beach Resort PLC has convened an extraordinary general meeting to be held on the 8th of May to apprise shareholders on the current position of the company and an alternate course of action with regard to Citrus Kalpitia Hotel development project. This follows a directive from the Securities and Exchange Commission on the 20th of March.
In the directive issued on the 20th of March this year, the SEC noted that Kalpitia Beach Resort PLC had raised 283.5 million rupees from the public in November 2011, with the funds intended to finance the construction of Citrus Kalpitia, as stated in the prospectus. The directive was triggered by what was termed by the SEC as an inordinate delay in the construction of the hotel. The SEC points out that in a previous disclosure, the company had also stated that the construction of the resort would commence from December 2011, with commercial operations commencing in early 2015. The directive from the SEC expressed grave concern over the company's failure to complete construction within the timeframe specified in its prospectus. The SEC directed the company to pass a resolution specifying an alternative course of action with regard to funds collected through the IPO on or before the 10th of May 2015. It is against this backdrop that the company issued notice yesterday of an EGM to be held on the 8th of May 2015. In the proposed resolution, the shareholders could agree to consider courses of action including 1. Await the new government's vision and intent to implement the development plans for Kalpitia with clear timelines so that the company may review the appropriate time to commence the project. 2. Continue to explore possible investor interests that would negate externalities so that the company would not be dependent on Kalpitia destination development as promised in the past by the government. 3. Consider partners who would create unique marketable products that will further ensure occupancy as a standalone hotel, such as a golf course and theme parks. And fourthly, to explore the feasibility of an alternative location within Sri Lanka and the Maldives as an alternate destination to Kalpitia for a tourism project. A Google search for Kalpitia Beach Resort PLC would lead you to the website of Citrus Leisure, also a public quoted company. Under the Our Hotels tab, you would find links to Citrus Hikkadua and Citrus Waskadua, the other two hotels operated by the company, while there is also a non-functional link to Citrus Kalpitia. Data for Kalpitia Beach Resort PLC on the website of the Colombo Stock Exchange shows that while the stock price reached an all-time high of 24 rupees, at the close of trading today, the stock price was 3 rupees and 90 cents. In spite of the fact that the SEC notes in its letter that construction was to begin in December 2011, 3.5 years later, the satellite image of the area from Google Earth shows the current state of the property. Our reporter confirmed that no construction has taken place at the said location.
Citrus Kalpitia raised 283 million rupees in 2011 at the time of the IPO. Much of this money came from small-time retail investors. Not long after, their share price reached a peak of 24 rupees. In the meantime, 4 years later, the company now announces that they plan to look for new investors and or a new location, maybe even in the Maldives. This is not what the investors paid for. They invested their money in a project in Kalpitia. They are now faced with a scenario where the share price is worth only 3 rupees 90, clearly having taken them on a big ride. This situation is tantamount to a breach of trust. It is now up to the SEC, led by Mr. Karunaratne, to ensure that the officers of this company are held accountable fully and that the small-time investors are taken care of.
When Newsfirst contacted Prema Kure, the chairman of Citrus Leisure PLC, he noted that the board of directors had deferred its decision on the Citrus Kalpitia project as Kalpitia is yet to be developed as a tourist destination.